Let's do our monthly check of our Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. They've got the new newsletter. Check it out at portofbrownsville.com. William Dietrich is our port director. Welcome back, Will. We're just a few days removed from a very successful operation over at SpaceX there at Boca Chica. Just an amazing, tremendous launch. Almost complete success for them. I think they're going to have to stick the landing in the sea eventually, but they're figuring things out quickly and expanding rapidly at Brownsville. And I know the port is part of that. If you could just quickly give me a summary of some of the work you're doing for SpaceX there at the port.
Yes. Good morning, Sergio. Yes, some of the work that we're doing for SpaceX is quite unique. They've taken advantage of the maritime component, and they're going to be bringing in large modules, which is going to facilitate their operation and hopefully speed up their future launches.
Might this be the beginning of a closer working relationship with SpaceX? As we hear they're expanding rapidly, they're going to have like 1 million square feet of operations here pretty soon. And it seems like the sky's the limit, or space is the limit for these people right now.
Yeah, there's definitely context between both of us. We continue to move forward to assist them in logistics and bringing in a lot of the bigger components and products to save them time. And, essentially us being so close to each other, they can take advantage of a full-service port.
I would imagine some of that coming in by water, by barge. Other components or equipment might be coming in by rail. We say happy 40th anniversary to the Brownsville Rio Grande International Railway as well. So tell me about how quickly their operations, the rail operations, are growing at the Port of Brownsville.
Well, the rail operations are going to continue to grow, and that directly coincides with the new businesses that are going to be coming in that all want to take advantage of the rail component in our multi-modal transportation system. So there's a lot of close planning between the Port of Brownsville and Omnitrax BRG. We have a very strong symbiotic relationship with each other, and both our successes depends on each other's execution.
How many people do you know, just ballpark figure, BRG employees, the rail line at Brownsville?
Approximately 40 individuals work there, 40 people.
Are they expanding operations here pretty soon as a result of more steel and other things that are developing at the port?
Well, definitely there's a preparatory aspect here where we are expanding, and BRG is going to have to expand with us. The projections for the future is that the steel industry is going to ramp up quite a bit. We are currently working with one of our current tenants, and they're going to be building a large feedstock facility to be able to feed and supply their current steel operations in Monterrey.
Do we need help from lawmakers in Austin or D.C. to expand rail lines, rail services here to South Texas? Because, man, I would imagine the connection to Mexico and everything that's taking place at the port, we're going to be using a lot of rail in the very near future.
Definitely the speed of government sometimes, and this is not being, negative in any way. Sometimes the speed of the government does not coincide with the speed of business. And that goes overall with a lot of the regulatory aspects of being able to build and sustain business operations here at the port. The Corps of Engineers, a lot of the regulatory commissions and permits that are needed to be able to establish something here at the port does sometimes take a little bit of time. And we'd like to be able to see that there's a process that maybe we can be involved in to help them expedite that so that business doesn't slow down.
William Dietrich is our port director, Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. Tell me the story of Gulf LNG Tugs. What is that, Will?
Well, Gulf LNG Tugs is the tug operation that's going to be supporting Texas LNG. As we know, there was very, very strong news the other day on March 14th. Texas LNG has received all their regulatory approvals. But this next bit of news is very important. Texas LNG also announced that it has received sufficient expression of interest from leading project and finance banks to move to the execution phase of the project financing. This essentially will lead to the $4 billion of financing needed to build a 4 million metric ton LNG facility. So this is great news. We're getting very close to FID with Texas LNG.
Are we going to be creating those tugs at the Port of Brownsville, building those tugs there, or are they just being shipped in to help out and move stuff around?
They'll be shipped in to be additional tugs for the expansive operations that are going on.
Sure. All right. So give me an update. What do you hear? What do you know as far as how many people have been employed by Bechtel? How many more they need to employ? What's the status report of the LNG creation at the port?
Yes, definitely. The LNG creation is spinning off to create a lot of jobs here. Bechtel continues to hire, and if you look at the Bechtel website right now at jobs.bechtel.com, there's over 50 different positions that they're currently hiring for, and this ranges from skilled labor, direct craft support, material journeymen, light equipment operations, carpenter helpers, and structural iron workers, etc. So currently, right now, if you go on the website, there's over 50 jobs that they are hiring for. In our previous talk, Sergio, we brought about a very interesting number, a very, very positive number, that 73% of all the workers at the Bechtel site or at the Rio Grande LNG site are local.
Excellent.
That is a trend that I like to see
Excellent.
Remain close to or even exceed as we move forward. So there's a lot of jobs for us to take advantage of here in the Valley, and it's very good for us. So if you think about it, 7 out of 10 paychecks from that site are going directly to families here in the Rio Grande Valley.
And I wonder how much longer we can keep up with that. I mean, because what is it, like 4,000 people eventually that they need to employ by the end of the year? And they're around, like about 1,000 people so far, and well over 70% are from the Valley. Can we keep up to meet up to 4,000? I would imagine a lot of those would need to be folks that move to South Texas, maybe come back to South Texas.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct, Sergio. I think a lot of them are going to move back to South Texas, but it was clear in meetings with Bechtel and other companies that are going to be moving in the area that they underestimated the local workforce. Yeah, the numbers of the local workforce. The transnational aspect that we have here, where a lot of our workers who live in Matamoros, Reynosa, are taking advantage of this opportunity, and it's great for both sides of the border. It's great for the Rio Grande Valley and the whole community.
Are there any other projects you want to mention right now? Anything related to steel or the wind turbines and blades coming in? Anything interesting that should be mentioned right now?
Actually, what I'd like to focus on, if it's okay with you, is the business park. The business park is gaining a lot of attraction. Last time we spoke, that there's a flour milling company that's wanting to come in and invest $6 million in creating a very complex flour milling industry here at the Port of Brownsville. Here at the business park, we're receiving a lot of interest from the food industry in general, and along with complementary industry from Mexico as it relates to the bigger industries that are wanting to, for lack of better words, hybrid their operations and have key certain components here strategically placed here at the Port of Brownsville. And, that really coincides a lot with the commission's goal, which is creating jobs and diversifying our industry profile and attracting sustainable industry and attracting workforce training and overall attract business with a strong maritime component that will take advantage of our multimodal transportation options.
Chief, thanks for your time, for the update. Again, for that information, more information, even breaking news, portofbrownsville.com. Check out the website and sign up for the free newsletter. That's William Dietrich, the director of the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. Thank you, Mr. D.